with Moses or without, I am going to tip Parramatta because I'm going to say 1 to 12 either way. With Moses, obviously a lot more confident. Without Moses, I'm going to go back and bank on what I have for Parramatta multiple times this year, and that's their forward pack because obviously Canberra's forwards are their strongest point, especially Joe Tarpany and your Josh Papali'is. But if Parramatta's pack as a unit, and I sound like a broken record, consistently this year, we've seen the best forward pack performances from Parramatta this year, I believe. If we can get that, then they will be able to contain these blokes, I believe, and they will be able to get the job done. So regardless of whether or not Mitch Moses is playing, I'm going to go 1 to 12 Parramatta. I will say first try scorer, though, Jordan Rapana, and man of the match, Isaiah Papali'i.
Nice.
We've dived straight in here. Let's talk about the key matchup, which is obviously the
Well,
full pack.
Sorry, I was mesmerised by
you had
old
to be.
sausage fingers impersonation.
That's fine.
God save the king, everyone.
Whatever floats your boat, Ollie. The forward pack matchup is very intriguing. We've got arguably the best two front rowers in the comp against the form front rower in the comp. Probably the four best front rowers in the comp. You could argue for last week.
Close to it.
How does this whole forward pack line up?
Minus Fisher Harris. These four are very close to the best front rowers you're going to see take the field this season. I wouldn't be surprised if Corey Horsburgh actually starts the game and they bring Papali'i on as an impact, following the blueprint of what Penrith did, ratcheting up the intensity through the middle of the field when
How
Paulo
much ducks
comes
and
off the
drakes is
field.
it if Paulo and Puppy trying to keep them apart and picking a time to get them on?
Yep, absolutely. And I think I actually think that the forward rotation off the bench for Canberra will be a big part to why they will end up winning this game. I just think they'll end up being stronger at the back end of this game, especially through the middle of the field. When you got Nakora, Makatoa and Kafusi, who consistently have been inconsistent up against Sutton, Horsburgh and Gula, who generally are the more consistent of those three that you want to put up against each other. And then you've got Jake Arthur against Starling, and I know who I'm going to back to bring more impact into a game out of those two. So that's a big part of where I'm
Particularly in
leaning
the situation
to.
you've just mentioned.
A big part of where I'm leaning to, but Tarpany, to me, has been the best front rower in the game for the entire season. I think he started slow for about 2 or 3 weeks, but ever since he has been a dominant part of what Canberra have done week in, week out. Even when they've been getting flogged, he's still been one of the better players on the field. And I expect him to continue this. I think this is a perfect matchup for Canberra, to be honest. I think if they wanted to play anybody out of this semi-finals team, the backs line up pretty closely, and I think Canberra's actually got the edge in the forward pack. So
I tend to agree. So the elephant in the room is Moses. If he doesn't play, are you giving him none?
yeah, I'd give him even less chance, to be honest. I honestly think Canberra will win this game, and without Moses, I don't think there are any chance of winning this game.
I think so too. I think they would have come in feeling last week that their artillery was geared towards Penrith Melbourne, and I think once you miss your big shot, you go, oh shit, what now? And there's a big regrouping stage. I can't see them being as up for it as last week, and they ultimately did get beat by 20 last week, despite the raps we did give them. If Moses doesn't play, then none. There's still a chance here because his kicking game can keep them in this, but Fogarty's kicking game is matching that lately, and I think the forwards, like as you've said, can go be tougher for longer. And
are explosive. Like, they can absolutely dominate a bit of the field for 20 to 30 minutes, but I just think Canberra will stay in the grind longer and be as physical, but for longer periods than what Parramatta will.
It should be no surprise to see Parramatta leading 12-0 after 12 minutes, and then by half time it's 12-all, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, Parra going here. So I'm sort of agreeing. I'm going to go Canberra 1 to 12. And Tarpany out of the match to keep stamping it. He will be very hard to beat player of the finals if they keep making it. If they keep winning games. First try scorer. I haven't done it for a while, so I'm just going to go with Rapana.
Yep. As I said, I think I expect Parramatta to come out and do everything they did last week. Be very dominant in the middle of the field for 20 to 30 minutes. I just think Canberra will. They've got the players there in your Tarpanese, Hudson Youngs, Huira Naira. They're going to keep coming for the entirety of the game. Then you throw in your Suttons and Horsburgh. I think they've got more impact off the bench. So when that forward rotation comes in, I think Canberra will get the upper hand. And in the middle of the game, The thing that does worry me is Parramatta's probably got a little bit more strike in their outside backs than what Canberra do. But again, Canberra, they're going to play that long game. They're going to graft. And I think they may give Opacek some issues in defence outside of Dylan Brown. Or
Surely the first thing that happens is they put a bomb up for Waka.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. They're going to bomb the hell out of Waka. And then you got Waka defending inside Tom Opacek. And I think they're going to go down that side consistently, which just lends towards Chris having quite a good game and probably scoring a couple of tries. Raiders 1-12. Tapane man of the match. He's, as we've already said it. But I do think Parramatta will start fast and Sivo will get the first try for Parramatta.
Is there a shock to the system if Para win this by 20?
Nope.
If Moses plays and everything's equal?
A shock to the system in terms of Para then kicking on the next week?
Or
Kind of
like a
thing,
bit of
or-
everything. Like, oh, okay, Para are back. Okay, we've
Well,
underrated him here.
I'll be
Okay,
honest.
Penrith that good that they're just 20 points better than everyone.
Well,
I think both these teams get
if-
beaten by the Cowboys the week after.
There might
Whoever
be.
wins
And
it.
the other big key point
Whoever
is
wins it.
there's nothing left. You get to the Cowboys
Yeah.
and have fresh. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Parramatta just flogged the Raiders purely again the way they got into the finals, and at some point I think the Bucks got to stop. But yeah, and I guess just the last thing from me, even though it's sort of insignificant, I find it pretty impressive. Anyway, I said to you guys off camera, at least I sent it during the week. This is the first ever time in 40 years the Raiders and Eels have versed each other in a finals game, and I think that's actually pretty impressive considering it's literally been 40 years and these two teams have never versed in a finals game before.
Given the success of both,
And
those
more
Yeah.
often than
Maybe.
not, both of them
Like-
have been there.
Yeah. Well, at least the
They
past,
have a
like,
little bit of success at different times.
at
but
least what-
they've been there or
yeah,
thereabouts.
at least 3 out of the past 4 seasons, I think they've both played finals and they've just managed, especially in recent history, to
Dodge
avoid
each
each other.
other,
But
yeah.
here we go.